All right, guys, and welcome back. It's a beautiful spring day out here. It's very sunny. All the trees are actually popping, which is about time. It's been a wonderful spring. Well, today's video, as you've read the title, is I am going to be starting a brand new asparagus bed. And if you've ever wondered how difficult is it to start a brand new asparagus bed, let me tell you, it couldn't be any simpler and easier. But there is certain things that you should take into consideration before you go and just start planting your crowns, asparagus crowns, anywhere on your property. And I'll go through that with you a little bit as to what's something I really take into consideration as to the location in my garden that these guys are going to live for the next 25 to 30 years. That's where they're going to live. So let me show you guys the raised bed that I decided I'm going to plant these, and I'll explain to you why I chose that specific raised bed. So the raised bed that I chose is this one back here in the corner, and as you could see, that's east. That's where the sun comes up, is in the east. So I chose this bed here because these ferns here, once your bed is established, these ferns are going to grow about 4, 5, 6 feet high. So that's why location of where you get your bed started is important, so you're not shading out other beds. Like, that one's not shaded, and this one here behind me that the onions are in is not going to be shaded, because it will miss a little bit of the morning sun, but then in the evening it will be catching most of the sun throughout the day in the west side here of the property, along with all those beds. So that's why I chose this location. And so now let's get to the first stage, which is amending the soil with a fertilizer. So when it comes to asparagus, you guys have to remember that asparagus is a root vegetable. It has massive roots, and at this point, as you can see, I use bone meal to get it started and established with a low nitrogen, nice amount of phosphorus and no potassium. I don't care about the potassium. The most important number here that I'm looking for is the phosphorus right here, to make sure that those roots get really nicely established. Because asparagus, I'm not looking for foliage, it's a root crop. So I want the roots to be strong and not necessarily all the big ferns and foliage and none of that stuff. So for me, my fertilizer choice for asparagus is bone meal 412-0. Guys, if you're wondering how much I'm using for measurement for this phosphorus, I'm not measuring anything. When it comes to phosphorus, you really can't overdo it. You can see I'm not measuring. I'm just making sure that I have phosphorus on this bed. There's no measurement. Now, if I was applying a lot of nitrogen, then I might go a little easy on the fertilizing. But because this is such low nitrogen and it's the phosphorus I'm looking for, there is no measurement. Let's get it in there. You can see, pretty simple. Now I'm just going to work it in a little bit. Not much, just a little. Incorporate it. That's it. I didn't disturb much of anything. Okay. So if you guys can see, I'm just going to spread these out just like so. big, big, beautiful roots. These are 2-year-old asparagus roots. You know, and that's pretty much it. You want them nice and spread out. Like that. And don't worry if they're going to tangle with each other a little bit. They'll eventually establish and make their own. They'll establish themselves. So here they are, the crowns are in. You could see, yeah, they're a little twinkled intertwined a little bit, but I'm not worried about that. Like I said, they'll figure themselves out once they start growing. And now I'm just going to hydrate them a little bit, which I'm not going to give them too much water at this point. I'm just going to give them a little bit of a drink to get them hydrated. And then I'm going to cover them lightly with probably 3 inches of soil. So let me get these guys hydrated. Now I'm just going to cover them, like I said, with about 3 inches of soil. Not much, because remember, you don't want to make restriction on these crowns penetrating the surface. Once they penetrate the surface, then at that point, if you feel you want more soil, then you can add more soil. But to start with, you don't want too much to make it hard on these crowns to actually penetrate. Now, as you can see, just a light covering. There we go. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. I got everything covered up. Now it's just every day, well, that it doesn't rain, every day I'll come out here and I will, you know, not soakingly soak the bed. I will just give it a light watering like you saw me doing now, just to make sure that those roots do not get dry. You don't want them soaking wet where they rot, but you also at this stage you do not want them to completely dry in the ground. So just come out for the first week or so, and you should start in about 8 to 10 days. You should start to see those crowns start to poke through. Once that happens, you have established yourself a beautiful asparagus bed for the next 25 to 30 years. That's how it's done, guys. I hope this video was helpful. If you enjoyed it, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to follow along the journey. Till next time, you guys all stay safe.